Hello and welcome to ONCOLife Special Edition. It's my pleasure to introduce our guest today, Dr. Susanna Greer, Chief Scientific Officer of the V Foundation for Cancer Research. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm absolutely delighted to be here.
In this session, we will explore groundbreaking collaboration to accelerate the breast cancer vaccine research. We will discuss how this innovative vaccine trail could empower the patient, challenge they are addressing, and the broader impact of the work in advancing the precision oncology. Could we start with a general overview of the V Foundation mission and how it has pushed the cancer research forward over the years?
Absolutely. The V Foundation was founded in 1993 by ESPN and the legendary basketball coach, Jim Valvano, and they had one goal, and that was to achieve victory over cancer. And since then, we've awarded nearly $400 million in cancer research grants to over 1,300 investigators at the nation's top institutions. And that's across North America. And the V Foundation funds high impact science. We fund transformative research ideas that really, I think, often need a first push to really become breakthrough treatments. I think what sets the V Foundation apart is our commitment to both excellence and efficiency. 100% of direct donations go to cancer research. And we're really proud to have earned 13 consecutive 4-star ratings from Charity Navigator. I think that combination makes us not only a really bold funder of innovation, but also one that is very trusted.
And could you elaborate on why the V Foundation chose to partner with the Cancer Vaccine Coalition and how this collaboration can empower the fight against the cancer?
Yeah, absolutely. This particular partnership is rooted in aligned missions and a real shared sense of urgency. The Cancer Vaccine Coalition is an incredible organization. It was founded by breast cancer survivor and journalist Kristen Dahlgreen and exists to fund clinical trials that fund the immune system to not only recognize, but also eliminate cancer. The V Foundation brings the infrastructure, scientific rigor, and our track record to help drive those trials faster and to drive them forward faster, rather. I think that together we are able, through this really unique partnership, to leverage a lot of things. So survivor voices, scientific excellence, advocacy, to really ensure that research just isn't cutting edge, but also it's patient-centered. And to me, it's about matching the real power of the immune system with the precision of science and doing it in a way that is really deeply human.
Thank you. And this collaboration has been described as a game-changing partnership from a scientific perspective. What do you see as the most promising aspect of the breast cancer vaccine research that you hope to accelerate?
Yeah, absolutely. I think breast cancer vaccines themselves hold incredible promise, particularly in preventing, at this point, recurrence. We can imagine training our immune system not only to recognize breast cancer cells that are currently present, but also to remember them. And that's really the promise of immunologic memory, durable, targeted protection. So what excites us most is this move towards personalized vaccines that are designed based on those truly unique molecular fragments or molecular fingerprints of a patient's tumor. So it's a real paradigm shift from this one size fits all to precision medicine, and truly at its most elegant.
Can you also share some of your criteria and strategy your scientific advisory committee use to select the most impactful clinical trial for funding?
The V Foundation uses a peer review process. Our peer review is modeled after the National Institutes of Health, but has a, I think, sharper focus on innovation and translational potential. Our scientific advisory committee, I would put against any scientific advisory committee in the world. It's composed of leading cancer experts, and they really ask tough questions of our applicants. So, will this study answer a critical question in cancer biology or cancer care? Does the project have the potential to really change clinical practice? And is it built on not only solid science, but really pushing boundaries? This particular funding mechanism is called a game changer grant, and we're specifically will be looking at trials that move vaccines out of theory and really into practice. So ideally into that survivorship care that I mentioned. So where the need is, I think, both urgent and underserved.
How do you envision the breast cancer vaccine shifting the treatment landscape, particularly in addressing the risk of the recurrence for the survivors?
I think for survivors, recurrence is, we could describe it in a lot of ways, but maybe a shadow that lingers long after treatment ends. And vaccines offer a way to flip that script. So from a space of fear to a space of really proactive protection, which I absolutely love. So rather than watch and wait, we can empower the immune system to patrol for any signs of return. And I think this could be especially powerful for triple negative breast cancer, where we lack really targeted treatments today. A vaccine that prevents recurrence in these high-risk cases would be nothing short of transformative.
Given the V Foundation focus on the funding innovative research, what excites you the most about personalized vaccine approaches being developed?
Yeah, absolutely. It's an incredibly exciting era, and an era that we are really entering, where we can design vaccines from an individualized tumor profile, not just the cancer type. So this means we're not only treating breast cancer, we're treating your breast cancer. So these personalized vaccines really harness this next generation sequencing, AI, so deep machine learning, and immunology. I mean, what a trifecta, right? And I think they represent a convergence of fields. So the V Foundation is uniquely positioned to fund and to find the kind of multidisciplinary teams that will make this convergence possible.
How will this partnership and resulting the game changer grants ripple out to influence the broader the cancer vaccine research beyond the breast cancer?
Yeah, that's really one of the most exciting promises of this strategy, because the technologies and the insights that we build through this breast cancer initiative, they won't stay siloed. Once we establish a proof of concept, especially in survivorship, we can expand into other solid tumors like lung or ovarian cancer. And I think we hope to really create a roadmap, right? How do you fund? How do you evaluate? And then how do you deliver cancer therapeutic vaccines that have real world impact? This roadmap would be a resource, not just for the V Foundation, but for our partners and for the entire oncology field. And I think if we succeed in breast cancer, where survivorship is long and advocacy is really strong, we could set a powerful precedent for how vaccine research is approached really across oncology.
Could you give some more information about the V Foundation's future plan and aspects?
Yeah, thanks for asking. At the V Foundation, we focus on several strategic pillars as we think about the future. Let's say I will summarize three. I think are things I'm really excited about. The first is accelerating translational research, which is what we're speaking about in this particular partnership. We're doubling down on research that bridges the lab and the clinic. So this means more funding for early phase clinical trials, for immunotherapies, for precision oncology. So things like cancer vaccines that can really change patient outcomes quickly. Be happy to explain more about that and how we're doing it. But a second strategic pillar would be really expanding our impact and equity in cancer research. For the V Foundation, health equity is not a side goal. It's really central to our mission. And we are growing in our initiatives to support underrepresented researchers and to fund studies that address cancer disparities. We think everyone deserves the best access to the best science and the best cancer care. And a third, perhaps strategic pillar would be really thinking about and empowering survivorship in science. Right now, the V Foundation has a focus this year on cancer prevention and cancer initiation, and then thinking about the impacts on survivors. So as more people live beyond cancer, survivorship research, things that fall in this category to me, like therapeutic vaccines, it's really becoming vital. So we're expanding our funding in this area and supporting science that not only saves lives, but improves quality of life long after treatment. Broadly, the V Foundation is really strengthening our partnerships. We're strengthening our partnerships with other nonprofits, with sports teams, with industry leaders. We want to make sure that we amplify every single dollar and every discovery. I think, to me, victory over cancer isn't just a slogan for us, it's our North Star. And I would say we're really sprinting towards it.
Thank you very much. I have finished my questions. I don't know, do you want to add something else or underline any point in this discussion?
Yeah, just maybe a question on how we share the work we do. I think that's really important. Collaboration and science communication would be great.
Can you share some more information about your communication projects and your plan to reach out more people?
Yeah, absolutely. I've long held kind of a personal belief that science hasn't happened unless it's been shared. So I think we have two ways that the V Foundation has real strength in this area. The first is a focus that we have now on truly deepening our strategic collaborations. So those kind of collaborations would be things like sports franchises, of course, academic institutions, biotech companies, other foundations, like I mentioned, and we are really growing those partnerships that amplify the reach of the V Foundation and our resources. I think collaborations like the one we've talked about today, this partnership with the Cancer Vaccine Coalition, I mean, they're really models to show how we want to work. We want to be bold, we want to be strategic, and we really want to be patient-centered. So how do we do that? I think that research only meets or fulfills its potential when it's shared. I think that research needs to be shared clearly. It needs to be shared accessibly and really with purpose. We are at the V Foundation, we're doubling down on science communication and training our scientists, our V-funded researchers to tell their stories, to translate research for patients and for donors. And we're partnering with journals and platforms like we're doing right now to ensure that the science we fund meets the people that it's meant to serve. I think that I guess in short, the V Foundation is about scaling and innovation. We're about bridging a gap between research and real lives and ensuring that the best science is also the best shared.
Thank you very much, Dr. Susanna. It was a great pleasure for us to have you today. Thank you for sharing all this information.
Thank you so much for having me. An absolute delight to speak to ONCOLife any day. Thank you.